This is a video about the operating system. Basically, what is an operating system, and there are different types of operating system. We will discuss in this video. Operating system basically is a program that acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware. And without the operating system, computer cannot work. In fact, it is just like the engine of the computer. So, operating system goals is to execute the user programs and make user problems easier. As well, it makes the computer system more convenient to use. And operating system also provide the use of computer hardware in an efficient manner. We can interact with the hardware. A user can interact with the hardware with the help of this operating system. So basically, this is the purpose of the operating system. There are many types of operating system, and this is the computer system components. Basically, a system has these four components. Hardware, as you know, hardware are all the physical components of the computer system, like CPU, memory, input-output devices, like printer, keyboard, monitor, scanner, etc. Operating system is control and coordinate the use of the hardware among the various application programs such like Word, Excel, database, etc. for the various users. Application programs are various programs like MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, Excel, in which the system resources are used to solve the computing problems of the users. And there are different type of users, people, machine, and other computers which use the operating system efficiently. This is a view about the system components. As you can see, this is the computer hardware, and these are the application programs. And these application programs and computer hardware, between these, this is the operating system which act as an interface, basically communicate. And there are the n number of users, user 1, 2, 3, dash dash user n, which interact with the computer system with the help of operating system. So ultimately, what is operating system definitions? There is no universally accepted definition because operating system has many functions. It is just like act as a resource locator. It manages all the allocated resources just like memory, CPU, IO devices. So we can say that operating system act as a resource allocator, which allocate the different resources to the different users. As well as it act as a control program as well, because it's control all over execution of user programs and operations of IO devices. Whatever the user input the data, whatever the user gets the output is already and everything is controlled by the operating system. And last one is the kernel program. Basically, this is that program which run at all times. As well as when the application programs is running, the kernel is always in the running phase in the backend. So these are the some, you can say, definitions of operating system. Just like operating system work as a resource allocator, act as a control program, as kernel, etc. This is the basically user program area where the user memory allocated, and this is the operating system. So this whole is the memory part. This is the complete, you can say, memory, in which some memory is stored in the operating system and some is in the form of user programs. There are various type of batch system. Simple batch system, this is the multi-program batch system. In the simple batch system, there is a single batch continued by the operating system, and in the multi-program batch system, there are several jobs, job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4, and as many as there are so many jobs are there which are continuing executing in the CPU. So several jobs are kept in the memory at the same time, and the CPU is multiplexed among them. It executes one by one, one by one, one by one. For multi-programming operating system features, it requires input-output routines supplied by the system. It requires memory management, of course, because there are the various jobs and processes which allocate the memory to the several jobs. Definitely, there are the CPU scheduling also. The system selects among several jobs ready to run. There are the preemptive scheduling, non-preemptive scheduling, as well as allocation of the devices. Another type of is a time sharing system. The time sharing system, basically this is used in online systems, just like railway reservation and the online Cineplex or cinema ticket bookings, in which CPU is multiplexed among several jobs that are kept in main memory on the disk. So a job is swapped in and swapped out from the main memory to the disk and disk to the main memory. Just like online communication between the user and the system is provided when the operating system finishes the execution of one command, it asks for the another control statement, and online system must be available for users to access the data and code. So this is basically used in the time sharing operating system. In parallel systems, there are multiprocessor systems with more than one CPU in close communication, tightly closed coupled system. Basically, it increases the throughput, it is very economical, and increased reliability and graceful degradation for the parallel system, in which symmetric and asymmetric multiprogramming, multiprocessing as well for the parallel system. So parallel system is symmetric multiprocessing. Each process is run an identical copy of the operating system. So more than one processor can run at once without performance degradation. And asymmetric precision is assigned to a specific task. Basically, master scheduler processor is there, which are and there are slave processor. Master processor is the main processor, and slave processor are worked under the master processor. So this is basically used in many more likely large systems. This is the allocation of multiprocessing architecture. This is the memory allocated to the different type of systems. This is a real-time system. Real-time system is the dedicated applications controlling a scientific experiment like medical imaging system, some display systems. This is basically well-defined fixed constraint are there. So there are two type of real systems: hard real system and soft real system. Hard real systems are secondary storage or limited, data storage in short-term memory, and short real-time systems are limited to utility, industrial control, or robotics. In distributed, basically we distribute the computation among several physical processors. It is used in resource sharing very well. Computation speed up, load sharing we can done in distributed systems. Reliability, communication, it is very reliable and easily communicate this. Thank you so much.